these two animals would be ideal for release. Previously, this female actually escaped out of the zoo at the time when she was having her pups. She actually dug an air conditioning unit out of the wall, and we started thinking that these are signs that we should definitely get them out of here. It's been about a 4-year-long process trying to get to this point, but the last year, and especially the last 6 months, have been very active. Lorna Fuller, who used to work at the zoo, was very actively involved in trying to arrange this release of these two honey badgers together with Nikki. So it's been an ongoing for about 4 years now, and it's brilliant to actually think that today we're taking them out to Northwest Province, and they're going to have a soft release in the beginning and eventually a complete release into the wild. The biggest concern is that the two of them are together, because it's fine when they're fully awake, but if one of them is sedated and the other one's fully awake, they have a tendency to go at each other, and when a honey badger goes at something, there's some pretty serious damage afterwards. The other thing is these guys have got some pretty elastic, very loose skin, and the idea is that we actually get these darts intramuscular, because if the drug goes subcutaneously, it has almost no effect. So thank goodness we're going to be at close range for darting them, so that we can get a fairly good chance of getting it intramuscular. But with it being very close range, they're going to not be sitting still. They're going to run around like crazy. So hopefully, you're always worried when you're darting something that you don't break a leg or shoot something in its eye. We see the male's already affected, but we'll probably give 10 minutes total time before we go in at all. There's no risk of them, there's no water source, it's not a major height they can fall from, nothing really they can injure themselves on. So we'll make sure that they're fully asleep before we go in, because it's a super confined space with two very pissed off honey badgers, and it's pretty dark inside there. So, has anyone seen mating in these recently?
Not recently. We haven't seen any activity.
I've got a sneaking suspicion here might be an early pregnancy.
She might be.
Yeah, she's got the shape of it, and I can feel what feels to be very early fetuses. Just put her, let's see she's not in the sun. All went very well for capturing these two honey badgers. They're not the easiest of creatures to dart in a pitch black dark night room with a dark honey badger running around in it, but the anesthetic went well. There's no injuries from the darting. We got to have a good look at them, and the brilliant thing is it looks like the female's actually carrying two pups. So very possible that these two babies will have been conceived in captivity, but will be born in the wild, which would be brilliant. We're actually putting something back out there.
Good morning, sir. Slipstream 002 Kodiak 100, NAC Southside Charter Division. 1 crew plus 2, 6.5 hours endurance, registration number November 85 Kilo Quebec. Request your startup. Can you please number 1, sir? Less than balance 6,000 feet.
what we'll do is we'll put this crate light into the top.
In a zoo, try and educate the public, but one of our important things that one has to try and focus on is breeding critically endangered animals, but also other animals that we don't know what their threatened status is, and animals that are commonly available as well, so that we can augment wild populations. And with these honey badgers, it'd be brilliant to be putting them out there. We're not really sure how many there are in the wild, and it'd be nice to add these to the gene pool.
Well, after just short of 2-hour flight from Lanseria to the Kalahari, we've ensconced the badgers in their enclosures. We've got the male in a smaller enclosure over there, and then we've got the female over here in her luxury suite. They're both doing the perimeter fences to check for any chinks or any holes. They've both discovered their water, and I think they must be absolutely amazed, because this is the biggest space that they've been in over 6.5 years. It's actually extremely moving.